Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm your host, Nina.
And I'm Matt.
And today we're talking about summer break, right?
That's right. I've got my summer shirt on. I'm ready for summer break.
Right. I remember back when we were younger, we would always kind of do something during summer break, right?
Yeah, whenever school was finished, you're very excited because usually you have some summer break plans. So what kind of plans did you make during summer?
Ooh, I think my most memorable summer break would be when I went to visit my cousins in the States. And their parents signed them up for summer camp almost every single week during their summer break.
That's a lot of camp to go to.
Yeah, but it was also really fun because there were some interesting camps like a speed camp where they do speed training and running, and there was like a detective camp where you got to be a detective for the week and try and figure out some mystery crimes.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. And I guess if you're in camps like every week, you're gonna get some interesting themes because they can't all be the same.
Exactly. How about you? What did you do during summer break?
I sometimes went to week-long camps like that. Sometimes it was like a soccer camp.
Okay.
And one time I went to a week-long camp where we actually stayed at the camp, and it was also a horse riding camp.
Oh, that is super cool.
So we got to ride horses for the week and live sort of on the ranch, which is a place where horses and other animals are.
Did you like it?
It was okay. I didn't like it that much. At that age, I didn't like having to stay there for so long.
Okay, yeah, but I think your parents were happy.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so let's learn more about this conversation.
Charlie and Teresa are hanging out after school.
School's almost out. What will you do this summer break?
I'm going to spend it abroad at my aunt's fancy house.
I bet that you'll have lots of fun.
Hello everyone. Today we are looking at a dialogue and it's called Summer Break, and it's part B of these dialogues we're reading. So we're learning about some people that are going to be getting ready for their summer break, which is very exciting.
Indeed. Okay, so Charlie and Teresa are hanging out after school. In this case, I will be Teresa and you can be Charlie.
All right, I'll be Charlie, and let's see what Charlie has to say. School is almost out. What will you do this summer break?
Ooh.
Okay, so he said school is almost out. So this expression with something being out, well, it's almost always used just for school. We don't often use that for other things. You could maybe say work is out, but most commonly people will say school is out. And that means that school is finished, and often it means finished for a longer break like summer or winter break. So you could say at the end of a school day that school is out for the day when the bell rings and it's time to go home. Or when it comes to summer vacation, you can say school's out for summer.
And you know, this reminds me of this song in High School Musical. Have you seen it before?
Well, I haven't seen High School Musical,
Okay.
but I think that song, the original song, is it not from an older song? Or?
I don't think it is. I'm not sure. Well, but there is a song about summer break coming and school being out, and it's a lot of fun. High School Musical too. Anyways, continuing, Teresa says, I'm going to spend it abroad at my aunt's fancy house. Ooh, so she's going abroad. That's an adverb which is in or to a different country. For example, she studied abroad in France last year. So Teresa is planning to visit her aunt in her fancy house.
Wow, okay.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, not only getting to travel to another country, but also getting to stay in a fancy house. So this word fancy is an adjective and it means something that is not the simple or basic version of something. It has something special about it that makes it better, it makes it extra good. So when you talk about a fancy house, we probably mean it's either a big house,
Nicer.
or a nice house, an expensive house maybe. So it sounds like Teresa might be having a nice vacation when she gets to go to this, nice house and also gets to travel abroad.
Yeah, that does sound like fun.
So Charlie replies, I bet that you'll have lots of fun.
Okay, so he bets. Does it mean that he asks for a wager, like, oh, maybe you'll win some money? No, right? When you say in this context, it's to make a guess about something, right? So for example, I bet it will rain tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字跟文法重点。首先来看看单字的部分。第一个 abroad 副词，在国外到国外。Lucy is studying abroad in France. Lucy 正在法国留学。下一个单字 fancy 形容词，豪华的、高级的。Kevin went to a fancy restaurant for dinner. Kevin 去了一家豪华的餐厅吃晚餐。我们再来看一下文法重点。刚刚对话提到这两个短语。第一个 something is out 某事物结束 out 在这里是副词，意思是结束的、完结的。我们来看看这个例句 The semester is out 这学期结束了。 Semester 指的是学期。下一个文法 I bet that 加主词加动词，我敢肯定怎么样。 Bet 的意思是断定、确信，它的三态是 bet That 可以省略哦。我们来看看这个例句 I bet that Lisa will win the game 我敢肯定 Lisa 会赢得比赛。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, so it sounds like Teresa has some interesting plans, and it does sound like, as Charlie said, that it will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's nice that someone who just gets a school break gets to travel abroad at that time. You said you got to travel to your aunt's house abroad as well. So.
Yeah, and her house is also pretty fancy. She had a swimming pool, she had a little mini theater in the house.
What? Okay.
Yeah, so it was a really nice house, and we went to these camps, so I did get to spend a lot of time with my cousins as well. But I had to work for it. She put us in the gardens and we had to do some weeding there and basically put in the work and labor so we could enjoy all of these perks.
Wow. Well, I mean, it sounds like maybe it was worth it though.
Yes, it was.
Because I think when I was in school still, when I was in junior high school or elementary school, I didn't really get to travel abroad much, especially not for a whole summer. I didn't have any cousins that lived abroad or any family at all really that lives abroad. So we mostly spent our summers in Canada, where I'm from. So
Okay, so maybe now that you're older, you can just go abroad by yourself.
That's right. It's almost time for me to go abroad. That's why I got my vacation shirt on.
All right.
All right, let's take a break here and we'll come back for more of the dialogue after this.
No, I won't. My dad signed me up for a language course, so I'll have to study vocabulary and other things in July.
What will you do in the weeks after that?
I don't know. My aunt will tell me when the time comes.
You're lucky. I'm not going anywhere this summer.
Maybe you'll go somewhere next year.
Welcome back. Before the break, we had a dialogue with two characters, Charlie and Teresa. And as we learned, it's almost summer break. So school is almost out. It's almost finished for the summer break. So Charlie asked Teresa, what her plans were for summer break. And Teresa said she's going to go to her aunt's fancy house and she's going to go abroad. So she's going to go to her aunt's fancy house in another country. And Charlie thinks that sounds like a lot of fun.
So Charlie says, I bet you'll have a lot of fun. And Teresa responds with, no, I won't. My dad signed me up for a language course. So I'll have to study vocabulary and other things in July. Okay, so Teresa thinks she will not be having a lot of fun because turns out she's not there for just play, right? So she's going to have to take a course where she will be studying, I'm guessing, French, right? Is she going to France?
We don't know what country she's going to. She's going to a fancy house, not a fancy house.
Okay. All right, so she'll have to be doing some studying.
All right, so maybe it's good that her father signed her up for this course. So when someone signs someone up for something, that means that they are putting someone else's name down to do something. So to take part in something like a course, or maybe to volunteer to do something or help someone, you can sign someone up for it. So you're going to put their name on a list. That means that they're going to do something. You could also use this for yourself. You could say, I signed myself up for the soccer team at school. So you joined something, you put your name down to say that you will do it.
Okay, and she's being signed up for a language course. So course is a series of lessons or classes. For example, she is taking a cooking course this summer. So you will learn how to cook in a cooking course.
Okay, so in this language course, she is of course going to have to learn vocabulary. So we often use that word here because we're teaching you vocabulary like this word, which is part of the vocabulary. So vocabulary means the words that are within a group of words that are part of a certain language. So you can have vocabulary for a course, vocabulary for a lesson. You can talk about someone's vocabulary, meaning all of the words they know and use. So vocabulary just means words and usually specific to a language. So you're not going to say, I learned a lot of vocabulary, but be referring to, English, French, Chinese. Usually when you're learning vocabulary, you're learning one specific language's vocabulary.
Yes.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字。第一个 course 名词课程。My sister is taking a cooking course this month. 我妹妹这个月正在上烹饪课。下一个单字 vocabulary 名词单字字汇。I need to improve my vocabulary for the English test. 我需要提升我的单字量来应付英文考试。文法的部分呢，刚刚提到了这个短语 sign up somebody for something， 帮某人报名某活动或课程。sign up 的意思是报名参加什么，这是一个可以分开的动词片语。我们来看看这个例句 Jack signed me up for the dance lesson. Jack 帮我报名了这个舞蹈课程。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, next, Charlie says, what will you do in the weeks after that?
And Teresa responds, I don't know. My aunt will tell me when the time comes. Okay, so clearly her aunt will be in charge of her schedule while she's there.
All right, well, Charlie says, you're lucky. I'm not going anywhere this summer.
And Teresa responds, maybe you'll go somewhere next year. Okay, maybe next year he'll get a chance to travel.
Teresa said that she doesn't think it's going to be a lot of fun because she has to learn a language, but I think that's actually a fun thing to do. I think if she tries to enjoy it, I think it would be a lot of fun because I assume she's learning the language in the place where she's going.
Exactly.
So it's kind of fun to try to actually get to practice the language you're learning in real life situations. So I think, to me, it sounds like fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So we hope you enjoy this dialogue and that you will be going somewhere really cool this summer break.
See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Charlie and Teresa are hanging out after school.
School's almost out. What will you do this summer break?
I'm going to spend it abroad at my aunt's fancy house.
I bet that you'll have lots of fun.
No, I won't. My dad signed me up for a language course, so I'll have to study vocabulary and other things in July.
What will you do in the weeks after that?
I don't know. My aunt will tell me when the time comes.
You're lucky. I'm not going anywhere this summer.
Maybe you'll go somewhere next year.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 ，abroad 副词在国外到国外 ，fancy 形容词豪华的高级的 ，course 名词课程 ，vocabulary 名词单字词汇。接着我们来看文法的部分 ，something is out 某事物结束 ，Max can't wait until class is out。Max 等不及要下课了。I bet that 加主词加动词，我敢肯定怎么样 ？I bet that Marvin has a girlfriend。我敢肯定 Marvin 有女朋友。Sign up somebody for something， 帮某人报名某活动或课程。Wendy's mom is going to sign her up for some yoga lessons。Wendy 的妈妈要帮她报名几堂瑜伽课。好啦，以上是今天的重点单字跟文法，那我们下次再见喽，拜拜。
Hey, 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 it's KiWi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie. Hey, do you smell that? It smells so good.
Yes, I'm going to take you to have some fried chicken steak.
What is that?
You don't know what that is? It's Taiwan's famous street food. Come on, I'll take you. Let's go. Here, Winnie, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, those are also called fried chicken cutlets.
Let's go check it out. Hey, Winnie, what part of the chicken do they use to make the fried chicken cutlets?
Most shops actually use the chicken breast.
Oh, chicken breast. So the chest of the chicken.
Exactly, so they take chicken breast, dip it in batter, and then fry it.
Oh, but you know what? I heard this one place, they'll fry their chicken and then grill it with their homemade barbecue sauce.
Okay, so very special. Now we also get to the part where we customize our chicken order with the seasonings, of course.
Oh, there are so many seasonings to choose from.
Exactly, so I'm excited to eat some chicken.
Ta-da!
Wow, okay, so we have a lot of chicken here, but are they all the same?
No, they're all prepared in different ways.
Okay.
So the first one...
okay.
Hey,
Just let me take a bite.
okay, the first one is basically the most common type of chicken. And you'll notice that there's a cut one and not cut.
So these are the same,
Right.
But this one is just the cut version,
Right.
so it's more efficient
Right.
to eat. It's very juicy.
And it's really tender.
Yeah.
So the meat is really soft.
Okay, very good. Okay, so this one looks very different.
Okay, this one's really cool. It's also deep fried, but it's grilled after they fry it.
Okay, and there's a sauce on it. Okay,
What kind of sauce is it?
it's very sweet. But I can definitely taste the grilled flavor.
Okay, the last one, it's also fried. But do you taste the difference?
It's so crunchy.
Right, it's extra crunchy because they are known to be extra crispy. So the batter is kind of different.
Right, the outside is a lot crunchier, kind of like chips. Okay.
Well, we had a lot of chicken today, but we also learned a lot of new words.
Yeah, for example, who would have thought that you can use the word tender to describe something very soft, just like the chicken meat?
Right, and because it was tender, it made the chicken very juicy
Yes.
and flavorful.
Now, how about the outside of the chicken? How can we describe that?
It was so crispy. And that's when you describe something being very crunchy as well. We had one that was extra crunchy.
Yeah, we did.
Well, that's all for us.
KiWi out.